As his latest comedy special has been released by Comedy Dynamic, Past and Present Imperfectly. We have Tom Arnold here.
Yes.
Tom.
Thank you, my friend.
You go back with Irvin, don't you?
I
From
do.
The Best Damn days,
I love
right?
him.
The Best Damn Sports Show
I love
period
him.
days.
Yes. I said when we started the show, 2001, we started with a different lineup, and I said, please, let's wait till Michael gets out of jail. It's worth it. I'm not even kidding. No, he had some trouble. But, you know, as a guy who's had some trouble myself, first of all, I knew he would be amazing on the show. And, you know, Michael Irvin there's just something about that guy. He's always willing to help other people. We're all imperfect. And he's hilarious and occasionally inappropriate. And I just love the guy.
Well, he was at my wedding.
Well, he's at my wedding, too. Did he make a speech? Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, he made a speech. Hold on. He made a speech at my daughter's baby naming.
Okay.
Because we had it. Yeah, words you probably didn't expect coming out of my mouth there. But my daughter's born. We had to have the ceremony on a Saturday because Sunday was NFL Sunday game day morning. So we had it on a Saturday. It was difficult to get a rabbi on the Sabbath. We found a rabbi on the Sabbath.
Wow.
And the rabbi, she says to us, at the end of my ceremony, there's somebody that gets to speak, a special speaker. And I turned to Susie, my wife, and I'm like, there's only one that we could get.
Yes.
And he gave the most passionate speech about fatherhood and family and what it means in this world. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, he did the same at our wedding. And I'll tell you what, it came time to lift the chairs. I mean, this guy, I mean, he just loves he just embraces you know, because Michael Irvin is not Jewish. I don't know if you knew that, but he got out there, you know, and just embraced it. But his speech.
You got into it?
I'll tell you, he got into it, and he covered a lot of areas. And to hear someone in front of your whole in-law family say, you know, Tom did the cocaine, and it was, well, I'm sure it was fun, but then now I'm in there, and now it's all over. You know, he covers a lot of ground in your wedding speech.
Well, I am Tom Arnold. I'm mandated to ask this next question. Which wedding?
That was the third.
The third. Okay.
It was Maxine Waters was there. I will say that, and a couple. I was married to a political consultant.
For your third wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but he'll be in all of them, you know, Michael.
So, one of your wives was in the news lately.
Yes. My, you know, it's funny because my stand-up special came out today, and when we were shooting it, first year, I said, you know, guys, I'm going to cover a lot of my life. I talk about my life on stage, and I want to get it up to the point where here I am, 59. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and Ashley and I have been together 10 years. My life, I'm so happy, but I want to talk about the early days too, when I worked on the Roseanne show, and my ex-wife, and I want to talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger. I want to do a chronology of my whole life and getting here, and I said, you know, there's a Roseanne reboot coming. I said, I think it's going to be in the news on June 5th when I have my special comes out. They're like, no, I don't think so. I go, no, I think it's going to be big news. And I can make fun of the fact that I have a little rinky-dink comedy special on this stupid network, and she has a huge hit TV show. I'll make fun of myself. And they're like, you'd think that was the plan, and it's going swimmingly so far. Yeah.
What'd you think when this whole thing went down?
I thought, you know, I thought, you know, I talked to Kimmel the whole way from day one. I'm like, oh boy, this is going to go.
Well, is he friendly with her? Is he tight with her? Or no?
Well, I mean, he cares about her, but you know, he's on ABC. Right. He do. I mean, you know, you see things and you're privy to things that, you know. I don't want to say trade wreck, but when you follow her social media, you could see Jamel Hill would not get away with what she was doing, right?
That is correct.
No, for real. And I was tweeting, I was openly tweeting at ABC, what is the Disney social media policy about Nazis? And like, this is a one-time thing. Calling Valerie Jarrett a monkey. This is going on and on and on. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you know, and I was trying to be as helpful as possible. You know, I have my stepkids and communicating, and they're concerned. There's a lot of people in this country whose parents have gone off the deep end. You know, it's not just, you know, there's mental illness involved, of course, and people, you know, my thinking was with Roseanne was, oh my gosh, she has the opportunity to stop and go, oh my gosh, what have I gotten into, and be an example for all these people. My own family. my own family's in the same place. To go, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Let's take a step back. What is true? What is not true? Because we have a president that's just perpetuating it, going, I'm the real victim. Even Roseanne, I have to say this, her good buddy Donald Trump, who we both known for 30 years. I've been to the Playboy Mansion with Donald Trump, and I wasn't the creepy guy. He used to come on my sports show all the time, and stuff. But when this went down, and she, he called her when the ratings were #1. But when this went down, instead of having her back, he went, oh. What about me, though? Why isn't ABC apologizing to me? He made it about him. So he Billy Bushed her. See? So he dumped her. So I just felt like at some point she could have gone, whoa, I got into this thing. It was fun at first. It was kind of a bit like a spy novel. And now everybody's gone too far. What is really true? Let's take a step back, everybody. She could have been the best example for all these people that believe all this nonsense.
Well, I know that Kimmel tweeted out about mental health.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I asked if he was, like
he did,
with her
and I retweeted that. And I think it's, I talked to her daughter last night, Jenny Penland, and I said, Jenny Penland, when she was 14, she outsmarted me and her mom and her dad. I mean, she was just, and at 42, she still, because I would have told you yesterday, oh, I had the plan. The whole time I was like, get her phone. Get her phone. In fact, I sent him a picture of a phone that you tweeted to, but it goes to a different server. I had my Vice guys come up with this phone, and it goes to a different server before it goes up. So
like a Twitter intervention.
Yeah. Well, I had a million things because I'm a grab her phone thing. With my nephew, who got kicked out of the Army for a suicide attempt, and then I saw all his guns on social media. I was headed to Arizona to take his guns, and his dad warned him. I was like, I'm just going to take his freaking guns, and they're like, oh my God, it's the Second Amendment, and he ended up, I've written about it, killing himself. I'm like, take his guns, take his. They're like, First Amendment, can't take your phone. I'm like, take your phone, but that simplifies things, and it's more complicated than that. And I heard from Jenny Penland last night again, and she is right. You can't just take these, but my thing was like, turn off the Wi-Fi, shut off the lights, just get that phone. Who is watching? Who's in charge over there? But there are other things, and there's millions of people whose parents are like, what is going on with I got to do something. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's not as simple as take the phone, but somebody needs to be talking about it. And there is mental illness. I have mental illness. I was with Roseanne when she went to the multiple personality thing. We did it as a family. We spent a lot of time at Johns Hopkins. But this is a different kind of mental illness, and it's anxiety based. And if you stay on the social media and you stay, that's like a crack for people with mental illness. So to keep reading that conspiracy stuff and you believe it, you got to get off of there for a period of time. And then you got to get your wits and work with a professional, because there's a lot of suicides in this country, Rich. And because people just get hopeless and it gets too much and it gets so dangerous. And maybe this is a great moment for everybody to go, well, let's just take a pause. And if we had leaders that would go, wait a minute, everybody, let's take a beat, instead of leaders that go, what about me? It's rigged system. It's crazy. It's dangerous. People of color are dangerous. People of color are after me. They're kneeling. Get those son of bitches off the field. That's what we have right now. And that's unacceptable.
Let's take a break. We're back in 60 seconds with more with Tom Arnold. We'll talk a little bit of sports with you. Okay. Tom Arnold here on The Rich Eisen Show. Back in a minute. All right, welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show. Past and present imperfectly. It was taped on November 11th of last year right here in Los Angeles, and it's finally getting for everybody to see their eyeballs on it. Check it out right now with Tom Arnold, Past and Present Imperfectly. You go on iTunes, Amazon, DirecTV, AT&T right here, Google Play, other cable and satellite companies, and later on Friday, all digital and physical audio retailers will have the comic stylings of Tom Arnold, the latest from him. You concerned about your Giants level would be what?
First of all, you got a lot of Best Damn Sports Show alumni in this building here right now. A lot of good. Am I concerned? No, I'm thrilled. I'm so excited about the Giants this year. Last year, as you know, Steve Tisch, best man I've ever had. Last year, I felt like Giants management, including Steve Tisch and the Maras, disrespected my quarterback, Eli Manning, and I let them have it. We all let them have it. It pulled Giants Nation together. We had a great draft. I am so excited about the season this year, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
I just had nothing but love for that kid for the last 2 years, and we've had him on the show, and he's got his head so screwed on directly right.
I mean,
It's
Iowa should have beaten them. I just want to say this. We should have beaten Penn State like we beat Ohio State last year, but...
Who's the we?
Iowa Hawkeyes.
Okay.
See the shirt here?
Oh, Rich? I can see it. Iowa City.
Yeah, the Iowa wave. That's what, people made a big deal about this where we wave until well, we just do that. That's Iowa. We don't need the publicity.
What, waving to the children's hospital?
Yeah, we just do that. And ESPN brings the cameras over, makes a big deal. But that's what we do every day of the week.
That was a rough loss to Penn State.
Yeah, it was a rough loss, Rich. It's funny. It's funny. It was a terrible loss. We let it, but let's talk about Ohio State for a second. How about that deal? Anyway, but this kid, he's amazing, and it's going to be just the hope coming into this football season. I don't know what's going to happen, but we are so excited. When I was driving behind the Beverly Hills Hotel, I saw little Mark Ken walking in some kind of a walk that old people do, and his white sweatsuit, and
Mark Davis, you're talking about?
No, Mark Canton. Do you remember him? He used to run the little guy that used to run Columbia.
Okay.
And he gave me a little wave like, hey, the Giants. People that are fans, you drive down the street and they see it. They're fans of your team. It just brings people together. Hopefully he doesn't hear what I just said about him. But when you're fans, that's the great thing about being a fan, man, isn't it? In life, because life is tough and there's all kinds of weirdness going on. But when you're a sports fan and you have that connection, you're walking through an airport and I'm a Cubs fan and people know that about me. And they go, "Oh, I have that thing in common," and it's just wonderful.
No, I agree with you. And then to just, I guess, bring it all full circle is that there is a lot of division, and sometimes people may not understand that there is something in common. You both root for the same team. You both want something happy to come out of a certain aspect of life, and you don't know that there's common ground. And sometimes maybe sports is that ability, not to get too hokey here, to do that sort of thing.
Let me just say one more thing about sports.
Yeah.
If you're a true sports fan and you know the teams and let me just say this last thing I would say about it. You cannot say that Chicago is an awful, crime-ridden, apocalyptic town. If you're a Cubs fan, you know that town is the greatest city in America because you've been there and you've been to Wrigley. Even if you're a White Sox fan, you know it's a great town because you've been there, you've experienced it. There's no way. Yes, there's a bunch of crime, but you know how great that city is because you're a sports fan. You know the truth. So that's why it's important to be a sports fan and know what America really is about. Right?
Yeah, and we just came back from Kansas City where there was a great charity event that went down this weekend.
Big Stick. I've done it. Big Slick.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, my God, the most amazing thing. And did you go to the hospital with kids first? How awesome is that?
We had a great weekend there, Tom. The kids were at the bowling event, and we got to meet them, and there were 4 members of the Kansas City Chiefs that just took their time off on a Saturday to hang out there, and the people of Kansas City reacting to the whole weekend. We're buzzing about it. I emailed with a couple of a fellow Big Slick participants.
Which ones?
Taryn Killam.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
Nice guy.
It was the first time. And he emails me back. He's like, is it sticking with you in the same way that it's sticking with me? And part of that is the people of Kansas City that at one point, I looked at Riggle, and I'm like, I think I have shaken the hands of every single person in Kansas City.
Every single one here.
And that's the same way, by the way, in Canton when we go to the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
We meet, honestly, you meet every single person in Stark County, Ohio.
I mean, that city shows up for those guys. This is the best charity event, weekend ever. I'll tell you what, first they take you to the hospital. When I went, we walked by one of the kids' rooms, and the father said, "Oh, he doesn't want to see anybody. He's upset." And I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "Well, he has to get a procedure to get a colostomy." I go, "Oh, let me talk to him," because I went in there. I had a colostomy. I had a procedure. And so we sit and talk, and I go, "Yeah, it's amazing," because then eventually it's kind of cool because then anyway, we talk it out. We end up taking pictures. I show him my scars. We talk about how long it's going to last and how it's kind of like it's actually a good thing. And I kind of hated giving it up because it saved me all this time and we making all these jokes and it was just this great experience where I could share something that was I thought was the worst experience of my life. And these kids are just gifts, just these wonderful things and what the parents are going through. And it's what these people do for these kids. kids. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to a charity, I'm going to, show my face. It's like, oh my God, you're a part of something amazing. And you guys, what you guys did,
and it represents
is
the town,
incredible.
and it represents Children's Mercy represents the town in the same way as the Chiefs, the same way as the Royals.
I'm like, right. You see these athletes, everybody just genuinely,
it's great.
And I got a double off Brett Saberhagen when I was there.
Yes, Saberhagen was there. He was on my team, so I didn't have that sort of.
But I mean, that's me. That's what
you doubled. You got a double.
I did. But isn't that what these guys do? And all the local actors and famous people from Kansas City, Keckner, and all these guys, they genuinely love where they're from. They Paul Rudd.
They raised $2 million.
Yes, and but they do it year round too at Wrigley, and they're doing stuff year round, going to games, and the Chiefs step up. This is what truly, and this is America all the time. And these guys are wonderful, and they do it right. I'm in awe of what they do.
Me too. Look, man, it was great having you
guys
on here.
Anyway, I got a comedy special.
Yes, you did.
Anyway,
Past and Present Imperfectly. Check it out right now, where everything is put on digitally right now. Amazon, iTunes, DirecTV, AT&T, Google Play, and other cable and satellite companies, just to name a few. Good to see you,
Thank you, buddy.
You got Tom Arnold here.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.